What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? It is your favorite North Carolinian, Russ, the Tar Heel. What's going on, guys, man? Happy Sunday night. I hope everybody has enjoyed their weekend. Let me get a sound check real quick, make sure everything sounds good. You guys can hear me okay as we go through here and recognize that everybody's in here early. We got Chung Si Kong Family Organization. I hope that I said that right. Welcome, my friend. I think that's the first time I seen you in here, brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Sparks Edits. Nick is obviously in the house. We got my man Preston from Greensboro in the house, and already there's been a little back and forth about the Carolina NC State rivalry, and so obviously the NC State guys are chirping about how they've won a four in a row, and understandably so. And obviously, the Carolina guys are talking about how we have owned them in every sport since the beginning of time, and rightfully so. So, Preston said, "What's the scoreboard in football, basketball, baseball, and ping pong? Name the sport. What is the score?" That's a great question, Press. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. I'm actually really excited about this one, and I have to give it up. My man, Coach Coop, dude, came up with the idea. And as soon as he did it, I was like, man, that's stinking brilliant. It's genius. And we have got to do that on the Tar Heel Huddle, man. So I'm really excited about this live stream because it's always fun, man, to do these kind of prediction shows. And we're like 2 months away from football season, man. Only 2 months away from football season, and obviously it'll be here before we stinking know it, man. And what I do want to do, moving forward, as a channel is, I want to keep record of what my season predictions are, and then I want to keep a record of what the fan base's season predictions are. I'm going to try to find a way to do it in here where we can vote, if you will, when we go game by game. So this is going to be a little bit longer of a stream, man. Hopefully nobody's got to work in the morning. Thankfully, I'm off, so I got a little bit of time. This is not just going to be a quick blow through, but I also want to know what you guys think as we go game to game. And then later on, probably about 30 days out, I'll release my personal preseason predictions. And then after the season, Hutch said the volume is way too low. Is that true? Is Hutch the only one that can't hear me? Or is it just my man Hutch? Welcome, Hutch. Good to hear from you, brother. Good to hear from you. I got it all the way turned up, bro. I got the juice cranked to the max. I'm actually super loud in my headphones right now. So hopefully the volume is good. Anybody else having any issues? Because I definitely want this one to come through well. But what we'll do at the end of the season, man, is we'll revisit, how well we all did. Whether it be good or bad, we'll revisit, and we'll make fun of each other, if you will. Because the last two seasons, mine has been absolutely atrocious. Okay, Hutch said better now. Perfect. Just absolutely abysmal. Goodness gracious. Absolutely abysmal. And, hopefully I'm hoping that this year is better. And it's crazy because we got a new coaching staff, and we got, 75% of a entirely new roster. And who knows what the hell is going to happen in stinking Chapel Hill this year, man. But there is a ton of buzz because there is a great head coach at the National Football level, right? Can he transition it over to the college level? That remains to be seen. So, like I said, this show is going to be, we're going to see what ChatGPT says about how Carolina finishes this year. And then, like I said, at the end of the season, man, we will we'll go back and we'll look how the robots that are taking over the world, how they did, man, and see if they're actually going to be able to stink and predict. Yeah, maybe AI knows, said Preston. Exactly. Maybe AI knows, man. So we'll go over here, man, to ChatGPT. And I'm going to try to do this. We got the AI score record right here. This is my desktop, so forgive me. But I have a slight obsession. And then we'll go over to ChatGPT. And, basically what I've heard is that what's really important, and I promise you I have not searched any of these, so I don't know why they're in there. Jimmy Swaggart, NASCAR race today, Caitlin Clark, and Ann Burrell. I have no idea who that is, but those are not my searches. I guess that's just like maybe what's going on right now, dude. Hutch said best case scenario 11-1, and the only loss is Clemson. Worst case 7-5. TCU 50-50. NC State Duke are rivalry games. Robert's in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, Rob. Good to see you, my friend. Said I think UNC will go 9-3 or better. 9 or 3, 9-3 or better. So, like I said, I think that, and I don't use ChatGPT. This is actually like the first time. And I did a trial run in the sense that I checked this and it gave me the same exact results 2 times in a row, but that was 2 days ago. And what I'm tracking happens. Sorry, searches. I think Miss Tara Hill would be pretty upset, press, if that were the case, my friend. But I think what ChatGPT does is it basically just takes all the information that it can gather from the internet, and then it basically just spits out, whatever you ask it. And I've heard that you have to be basically as what's the word I'm looking for? You got to tell it kind of exactly what you want, right? It can't just be some broad. It's not going to give you exactly what you want. So when we're looking at what should be the prompt, let's see, what are we going to put in here? All right. So, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to do this very similar to what Coop did on his channel, but because he got really good feedback from this, man. Like I said, I don't even know what to call it because I don't use ChatGPT. So this is all new for me. So we'll do predict the North Carolina Tar Heels 2025 football season. Season record by going game by game with score predictions. All right. And then we also want ChatGPT to give us a short explanation. I can learn how to spell on the outcome of each game. I don't think. What's up, Dennis? Good to see you, bro. I don't think that there's anything else that I need to put in there to get the results we want. And like I said, we're gonna slowly go game by game. I'm gonna try to keep up with it on the AI 2025 record tracker, and and we'll go from there, dude. We'll go from there. So, get in here, son. Old little Russ wants to jump in here. Everybody say, hey, what's up, little Russ? We went to the football field today, Hutch, and we had him out there running routes and snagging balls, dude. So pretty good time. Had a pretty productive day. Made some money, played some football, kind of came back, tinkered with this, hung out with the family, and now it's time to hang out with the stinking boys, dude. It's time to stink and hang out with the boys. So let's go ahead and see what it gives us. Let's go ahead and see what this bad boy gives us. Searching the web. All right. Now, let's see if I can. Let's do it that way. No, that should be good, right? That should be good. Lil Russ said, what's up, press? All right. So, here we go, boys. Scott said, what's up? Everybody said, what's up, Lil Russ? He's a trench fighter. O-line pride, exactly. All right, man. So let's go through this thing, right? So this says, here's a game-by-game forecast for UNC's 2025 football season under Bill Belichick based on data, matchups, and expert models. And hopefully I'll be there Monday, September 1st versus TCU. Obviously, home game. And we're going to start off right here with ChatGPT saying that North Carolina is going to open the season with a W. And that's pretty exciting, obviously, if you are a stinking Carolina fan, dude. So it says predicted 31-28 win, a tight opener as UNC debuts Belichick's system. Expect a clutch defensive stop late, mirroring a top forecast model. Whatever that means at the very end of this thing. But 31 to stinking 8, man. Carolina over TCU. And you guys remember in the way too early season prediction, I had Carolina dropping this one. I said it was like a 50-50 game, man. And so ChatGPT says that, I guess it's the fact that you know, they're they don't know what to see, right? They don't know they don't have any game film really, except Belichick's systems in the National Football League. So they're having to go through and look at each individual, um, you know, player, if you will, and that's how they're trying to piecemeal this this daggone game plan together. And so ChatGPT says that Carolina will start off the year. Let me go ahead and update this. We'll start off the year 1-0 with a close win against TCU at that house. Nick says y'all win 27-17, something like that. Tell you what, man, if they hold Texas Christian to 17 points, man, I would be pretty daggum impressed, man. Pretty daggum impressed. What say you, my friends? What say you? What does Tar Heel Nation think about this game? Can Carolina get the dub? Because I need to keep track of this. And we will revisit it. Like I said, right now I have it as an L. But what do you guys think, man? I mean, like I said, TCU has no idea what to expect for the most part. And Carolina's roster is like just completely been turned upside down. They've got some really good guys coming in. I do not envy TCU at all trying to game plan for this game. Not at all. Especially coming to Chapel Hill. Preston said 100-0. Goodness gracious. Go ahead and sign us up for the Natty if that's the case, brother. 100-0. Chung said dub 24-17. That's two. That's two of them. That's thinking two of them right there, man. So, Hutch said, having a close friend who was a former TCU player, I've watched a lot of their games. Josh Hoover's an elite quarterback. They lose their top two receivers, but have a solid defense. Good insight, my friend. Good insight. And obviously, we'll get like really into the weeds as the season approaches, especially when we do game planning and everything for TCU. But Nick does not think it's going to be 100-0 press. He's calling you on it, brother. Rob says, since it's a home game for our Heels, I say TCU 21, North Carolina 35, and Dennis says 31-21. So, I mean, that's pretty resounding right there. I think Tar Heel Nation, maybe I'm the only one that's slightly skeptical. It's the pessimism in me, I suppose, which could change. Scott says 24-20 Carolina. So we're going to go ahead and say that Tar Heel Nation says that is a dub. And we'll move on to the next game. Let me just keep these notes real quick. All right, let's see what ChatGPT says about Charlotte on September 6th. Get down here so I can... $36-21 dub. I guess that's going to be eerily similar to the Charlotte game from last year, right? It wasn't necessarily a blowout. Now this one obviously is at Charlotte. It says 36-21 win. UNC pulls away by halftime. The gap is talent. The gap in talent is too big. Expect a comfortable road win. I don't know if 15 points is a comfortable road win. I think the Robots, got that one a little bit wrong right there. 36-21 at Charlotte would not be a comfortable road win, if you will. I didn't feel very comfortable when Carolina beat them. Would they beat them 39-20 or something like 21, 39-21 maybe? I can't remember what the final score was last year, but it wasn't a blowout. What's up, son? Yeah. So I mean, ChatGPT is saying 36-21. That would put Carolina at 2-0 on the season. But I would say that, you know, after a big opening week win, for Carolina to play a Charlotte team, um, shout out to Harold, who's over at Charlotte now, and his family. Um, that would kind of leave a little bit to be desired in game two. I know it's on the road, and I get it. I get it. It's against the in-state opponent here, but we'll all take 2-0. I don't think anybody's disputing that. But I would really like a more comfortable W than a 36-21. And I think it's kind of funny that it says the gap in talent is too big. Expect a comfortable road win after it just told us that UNC pulls away by halftime. That doesn't really make sense to me. But we'll see what happens, man. Preston said Charlotte isn't good. It's a blowout. Nick says you guys are 2 years ago. Chung says UNC 40-20. Our defense shows up after half times. That's kind of the same thing, right? Maybe we're sleepwalking in the first half. Maybe a little I don't know, sand some of that sleep in our eyes, if you will, from a big opening week win. Carolina 42, Charlotte 17. See, that would be a little bit more comfortable, especially on the road, Dennis. 100%, man. 100%. Nick says, you will beat Charlotte. They suck. So let me go ahead and put that in there. I think everybody thinks that Carolina will beat the 49ers. So we'll go ahead and move on to week 3, man. What's up, son? We're not doing that right now. That's when the season starts. So we're in week 3 right here. September 13th versus Richmond. And this one, once again, 33-20. 33-20. How you guys feel about that? That would move. I'd move Carolina to 3-0. Let me update the record right here. 3-0 in the non-con. Starting everything undefeated. So we really can't complain about that too much. But 33-20 home win against the Richmond Spiders. It says a routine FCS tune-up. Belichick brings discipline early with a modest win. And I would say that 100% will be, that's a modest win. If I've ever seen one, dude. I think if we win by 13 against Richmond at home, yikes. My heart would be pumping going into the remainder games of this season, dude. I mean, a 15-point win at Charlotte and then a 13-point win at Richmond. Thank God the ACC is not like some kind of gauntlet or something. Thank God we're not in the SEC yet, if we're winning games like this. Am I right, Press? But, Press said Richmond is worse than Charlotte and LOL State. So, that's kind of interesting, man. I mean, it almost seems like at this juncture, scoring 36 and 33 against 2 FCS opponents, if you will, for all intents and purposes, maybe we have some offensive issues. Just maybe. Chung says Carolina 35-14 versus Richmond. No disrespect. Our defense going to go crazy. Bill shows why he's that coach. I like it. Carolina said 31-10. Carolina. 31. I don't know, man. It just, that scoring in the low 30s against that Richmond team, man, would make me a little worried, man. A little worried. Obviously, I love giving up 10. That sounds great. That sounds phenomenal. But scoring 36 at Charlotte and then scoring 33 against Richmond, we'd have to get some things together, man. Nick says, y'all will win that terrible. I guess they're bad, right? Which I think we all agree that Carolina should beat the Richmond Spiders, right? So right now we're at 3-0. We're at 3-0, man. Bring in Max Johnson or Bryce Baker at the tail end of that game. I hear you, man. Hopefully those guys can get burned in the Charlotte and Richmond game. That's what I would love to stink and see happen, man. Rob said we're just too fast for Richmond. Easy W. Easy W. So ChatGPT right now says that Carolina starts the season 3-0. Real close win against TCU, and then a couple of, head scratchers. I kind of think those would be head scratchers, man. 15 and 13-point wins. Let's see if they can finish out this non-con schedule undefeated, man. So we got September 20th at UCF, 30-27 win. There you go, man. A swing game, but UNC edges them late. UCF's tough, but the Tar Heels stick to the script, and they forgot to put a period there. What is the script, ChatGPT? Is there any way that we could get a little bit more information on that one? What is the script? A swing game, but UNC edges them late. UCF's tough, but the Tar Heels stick to the script. 30-27 W, man. So, I mean, and I think that we may have a lot of close games like this, and if we're, if we're winning the close ones, that's obviously not a bad thing. And I think that we'll all take 4-0 in the non-con. That's a great way to start things off. Obviously, I think at this point, with the way that Carolina's winning these games, I wouldn't expect to get a ton of kudos, if you will. I think a lot of people are going to hate, but we'll take 4-0, right? 704 said, I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling Max at all. Yeah. Preston said, so far, I like our computer overlords, right? That are predicting the future. So there you have it, man. Stinking Carolina goes undefeated in the non-con, according to, Skynet.
Oh, yeah!
4-0, bro. I'll stick and take it, man. I mean, I'll take it. Right now, we got an average margin of victory of 3-15. That's 18, 13. That's 31. And a 3-point dub against UCF. That's 34 divided by 4. What's that? An average margin of victory of 8, 9. So not really blowing anybody out. Dennis said 38-13, bro. That would be a stinking whooping, my friend. And if we can come down to Orlando and thump them like that, dude, I like it. I like it. So 4-0, boys. 4-0. And then Carolina goes into the bye week, obviously. And then they have the juggernaut itself, the Clemson Tigers, coming to Chapel Hill, dude. And so, I guess this is kind of where you see just how serious the boys are. So 4-0, can Carolina, according to Skynet, just shock the absolute world, man? Because everybody knows that Clemson, a lot of people are saying that they are national title contenders this year with that daggone defense, man. Hutch, man.
UNC has some question marks. No experienced QB. Who replaces Omarion? Who lines up to add 3 points in what very well could be close games? No experience at kicker. I think Bellichick can scheme defensively.
The question is injuries. Hey, I appreciate you for the 1999, Hutch, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much, man. So, Hutch says Carolina's got question marks. We all know that, right? Everybody here knows that. We got question marks at quarterback. We got question marks at, interior defensive line depth. We got question marks on how these players are going to gel with the new coaching staff. We have question marks how they're going to gel with one another. I mean, there are question marks all over this stinking team, bro. Um, I just keep turning back to Bill Belichick and, the fact that I really do believe that he is going to instill some defense or some discipline, man. And the discipline will start to, you know, will start to win games. And they may be close games like this. I mean, a team that wins, it starts 4-0. Team that starts 4-0 and their average margin of victory is less than 10 points, man. They're probably, a disciplined football team, winning close games like this, right? So very interesting, man. I appreciate you once again, Hutch. Appreciate you, brother. Um, Pilot said, I feel like we're gonna go to the ACC tournament. We have an easy schedule. Well, nothing would help more than to beat the stinking Clemson Tigers at home. Let's see what Skynet says. Here we go, boys. And there it is. October 4th, man. They got Carolina picking up their first L, 31-24, and it says Clemson's edge in playoff pedigree shows. UNC keeps it close at home, but falls short. Very interesting. Now, if Carolina loses by 7 to Clemson, and we don't do, we don't. That's obviously not what we're playing for, right? We're not playing for close L's. How does that make you guys feel, right? Let me go ahead and update this this record. So that moves us to 4-1, 0-1 in the ACC, right? So Clemson's edge in playoff pedigree shows UNC keeps it close at home but falls short. Now, Dennis says, here's where Belichick flexes. That's what Dennis said. He said Carolina 27, Clemson 21. Crazy, man. Crazy. I would, bro, if we start off 5-0, Dennis, and beat the Clemson Tigers, dude, oh my stinking goodness, bro. I'll be on cloud 9, man. Cloud stinking 9, just like the rest of y'all. Quan said, crazy time, and I'm over here looking at film from our 2026 high school recruits right now. I hear you, brother. Good to see you, Quan. Good to see you, my friend. Press said, we don't have anyone named John or Connor on this team. Hard to overcome Skynet predictions. Chung said, Clemson 30, Carolina 20 loss, but I think we learned from this loss. I can respect that. This is one of those games in year one, even though it's at home. I'm not going to lose my mind if we keep it close, right? I'm trying to be reasonable. Now, I do, obviously I would be ecstatic if Carolina can somehow get that W, 100%, 100 stinking percent. But, if we started off 4-1, 0-1 in the conference, and that's just because our first conference game is, supposed to be the preseason ACC champs, if you will. I wouldn't take too much, I wouldn't be too unkind, if you will, obviously, if we drop it by 7, man. Don't want to lose by 7, but trying to stay grounded, trying to stay in the real world. And it says Clemson's edge in playoff pedigree shows right here. And that could very well be true, considering where Clemson is and where Carolina is and where Carolina's trying to go. So ChatGPT says Carolina is 4-1, 0-1 after their ACC opener. So let's see if they can rebound, right? You don't want this to turn into, an L 2 weeks in a row because for whatever reason you're still looking back on that Clemson game, right? We got to move forward. And this is once again where I think the Bill Belichick standard, that Bill is able to get these guys to be disciplined and win, lose, or draw, move forward. Okay. We'll see. Then it said Belichick will take away what teams do well. Most college teams don't do well when this happens. Fair enough, man. We will definitely not be out schemed. I feel very confident in saying that. So let's see if the Hills can rebound right here. They got another bye week. and then they will head out west, if I'm not mistaken, to play the Cal Bears. And look at that, bro. Friday Night Football at California. ChatGPT says that Carolina rebounds, and it's another close, very close win for the Heels, 31-26. Belichick game plan shocks Cal, neutralizes their passing, seals a bounce back road win. So ChatGPT says, hey, do you know who the head coach is for your team? It's Bill Belichick. And it's funny how they attribute this W specifically to Bill Belichick's game planning. I think that's kind of interesting. It shocks Cal. They're shocked. What does that mean? Does that mean, like, all of a sudden, they go from a ground and pound team to, Gio Lopez or whoever's the quarterback at this juncture of the season? I'm guessing if Gio starts and they're 5-1, that's probably where we're going to be. But all of a sudden they just start airing it out and Cal is completely just taken aback. Is that what that means? Or is it vice versa? Does Gio come in and start slinging that thing around, and then Carolina goes out there on a Friday night and just, pounds the football up their stinking mouth? I don't know. It's interesting. Belichick game plan shocks Cal. They're expecting one thing, they do another. Very interesting take by Skynet right here. Very interesting take. Scott says 24-14 over the Bears. It sounds to me, Scott, like you think that this defense is going to be pretty good this year, man. Then it said Carolina 31, Cal 7. Woo. Woo. 704 said Clemson, I think we can beat them. I hear you, 704. I hear you, brother. Press said Belichick has an extra week to prepare. Belichick definitely will exploit a mismatch. I like it, man. So maybe Preston and ChatGPT, man, and their infinite wisdom, they're like, hey, bro, 2 weeks to game plan, and you're the Cal Bears. They go over there and get that close W, man. Once again, a 5-point win. And so we're gonna see a lot of close football games this year. And it's kind of interesting to think about, because I think a lot of us are wondering what this offense can do. And we're seeing a lot of, mid-20s, low 30s scores, which is, kind of what I'm anticipating, especially the style of play that I'm anticipating until they're proven otherwise, man. Scott said defense will be better than last year's. Hutch said Cal's bad, lost a ton in the portal. That's true. That is very true, man. It's very true. So ChatGPT, man, halfway through the season has Carolina 5-1, 1-1. What do you think? What do you think the powers that be? What do you think they'll say? Do you think that they kind of get on the bandwagon? Let's say that these scores hold true. Still an average margin of victory, of less than 10. Let's say these scores hold true. Do you think they start to give Bill his flowers? What do you guys think, man? 5-1, 1-1 in the conference, halfway through the season. Close loss, one L, close loss to, let's say, the eventual ACC champions, if you will, by 7 at home. I kind of feel like if it were to happen like this today, I think there'd still be a little bit of mixed emotions, man. I would be happy. I'll be honest with you. I'd be elated with this 5-1, 1-1, with a single loss to the Clemson Tigers, man, at home. I'd be elated. 704 said Cal will be a blowout game for us. Woo. Press said he'd be happy with 5-1. Chunk said, yeah, I think after that late loss to Clemson, people are going to be scared because that's recruit seeing Bill coming. Okay. We'll see, man. We'll see, dude. 5-1, 1-1. Let's see what the stinking boys do in the second half of the season, man. I mean, this is looking good right now. I really hope that ChatGPT is on their game, dude. 5-1, 1-1. I think we'd all be pretty excited about that. Let's see what they do in Game 7. versus Virginia, man, the South's oldest rivalry. Carolina gets a 14-point dub in Chapel Hill, 35-21. Home field, easy competition. Yikes. I think that's what ChatGPT thinks about you, Virginia. Tar Heels, I don't know why they lowercase tar right there. Kind of upsets me. Skynet. Tar Heels control tempo, showing clear superiority. It's from the Terminator. Remember the Terminator? So that would move Carolina to 6-1, 2-1 in the conference, according to ChatGPT. And right here, they obviously don't think the Virginia Cavaliers are going to be very good. Home field, easy competition. A little bit of dig. Press said future SEC rivalry game. It's interesting you said that, Press, because my phone was about to die when you sent to everybody that Fluger was doing his video, and I actually went back and watched it, man. Super interesting, bro. 18 months? Ain't that crazy to think about, man? Carolina and Virginia, bro, could be in a new home in 18 months. It's crazy to think about, dude. Hutch said, I like what Tony Scott has done, but they still just don't have the talent. Dennis said Carolina 42-10. Whooping. I'll take that, dude. Another whooping just like last year in Charlottesville, right? So 6-1, 2-1 in the conference, man. And this is, this is one of the things that I've noticed as well is you start looking at the schedule. Because Carolina only plays Clemson. They don't play SMU. They don't play Miami. They don't play Pitt. Yeah, they play them at the end of the year, son. So a lot of the better teams Carolina gets to avoid this year, and it couldn't have come at a better time. In year one of a new coaching staff and just the turnover that we've had on the roster, man. So 6-1, 2-1 in the conference, bro. I think we'll take that, right? Let's take that, man. Let's see if they can keep the ball rolling, dude. Let's go to the 8th game of the season. Friday, October 31st. Now, you guys remember that I said that this is where Carolina was going to stub their toe. Right now, I actually had in my way too early, which is subject to change. I had Carolina 5-2 with losses to TCU and Clemson. And that would have made them still 2-1 in the conference. So 5-2, 2-1 in the conference. Let's see what ChatGPT says about this Halloween game all the way up in Syracuse, man. I'm actually really excited about this game. I'm really excited to hang out with you guys for this one too, man. Night game on Halloween is going to be super exciting. Preston, I'm sorry, bro. You're not going to be able to go trick-or-treating this year. You got to come hang out with your boy, okay? So no trick-or-treating for you. Hutch, no trick-or-treating. Y'all got to come hang out with your boy on Halloween, man. I'm going to watch Carolina and the Qs. So let's see what ChatGPT says, man. 28-27 W. A nail biter under the dome. What does that say? Under the dome sack. What in the world does that mean? Hey, what in the world does that mean? Can anybody explain that to me? Is it just me? Am I missing something here? It's a nail biter under the dome sack. Somebody please explain that to me, bro. What does that even mean? Trick or treat for beer and show up for the live stream. I hear you, brother. I don't know, man. If you guys got some ideas of what in the world Skynet's trying to say here, dude. A nail biter under the dome sack. UNC escapes with a last-minute field goal. There it is, Hutch. The question is who's kicking the stinking field goals, man? Preston said, we're going to teabag him. Oh, my goodness, man. What's up? 7-1, dude. 7-1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 7-1, 3-1, dude. 7-1, 3-1, dude. I love that press. Stinking hilarious, dude. A nail biter under the dome sack. Dennis said Carolina 24, Syracuse 13. 50-50 anyone's game, says Nick. I still think that, right now, man, Tar Heel Nation's kind of got the record at 7-1, 3-1, man. I think everybody's feeling kind of good, especially with the competition they're playing. Chung said they lost the wide receiver, a few other players. You'll take 24-13 Carolina. I'll take that, man. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. Some of the scores that you guys are putting out here and everything would be fantastic for me, man. I'm kind of old school, dude. I like defense. And, I would just be so excited to just watch that defense flying around, dude, and just forcing punts and everything. I will sacrifice that for scoring 50, 60 points all the time, dude. I love winning 38 to I love winning 40 in the 40s and holding teams to under 20. That's like I love that, dude. Love it. That's perfect for me. So right now, man, through the Syracuse game, through Halloween, all the way to October, ChatGPT's got Carolina at 7-1, 3-1 in the conference, dude, which means we're sitting pretty, bro. We're sitting pretty. Hutch said Syracuse has a brutal schedule. Tennessee, non-con, Notre Dame, and at SMU, at Georgia Tech, at Miami, and Pitt at home. Yeah, that is tough. That is tough, bro. 100%, dude. Tennessee and Notre Dame. And then you got SMU. Georgia Tech is going to be really good this year. I think that they're kind of your sleeper team to sneak into the ACC championship game. But stinking 7-1, bro, 3-1. Let's see if they can keep it up, man. Nail biter on a stinking last minute field goal. That's from my guy Hutch, man. See if they can keep it up, man. Let's go to game number 9. November 8th versus the Stanford Cardinal at home, 38-19. Carolina gets a 19-point W. I can see that, dude. Now, this makes sense to me. Stanford's rebuild continues. UNC dominates the trenches. Very interesting right there. In a decisive SEC-style win. In an SEC-style win? Now, is there like a SEC bias with you, ChatGPT? Because I don't understand why we're talking about ACC football and this is a decisive SEC style win. What does that mean? I mean, I'm almost as confused about the SEC style win as I am about a nail biter under the dome sack. What in the world's going on here? Stanford is rebuilding, so I think that I got that right. But Carolina dominates the trenches, which we have not done in a very long time. In a very long time. And like Preston said, I think Skynet knows, man. Skynet knows something that, maybe we're not just necessarily privy to just yet. Carolina's going to be moving here soon. I don't know, man. Very interesting statement that they put there, Mr. ChatGPT. And that will bring Carolina, man, to 8-1. 4-1 in the conference. I mean, at this point, regardless of who Carolina's playing, which obviously aside from TCU, Clemson, 8-1, 4-1 in the conference. Think we'll be a little excited? You think Tar Heel Nation will be just a little bit excited, dude? 8-1, 4-1 in the conference. Let's see, man. Let's see who we got next. And we got Wake Forest, right? November 15th at Wake. 33-21 W, dude. 33-21 W. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Despite being forecasted as slight upset territory, which I would agree at Wake Forest, kind of a Can be a tough atmosphere, especially Carolina comes in there 8-1. UNC stays focused on the road and pulls away. 9-1, man. 9-1, dude. They go over to Winston-Salem. They beat a feisty Wake Forest team. First year of their new coach from Washington State. What's that guy's name again? Can't remember the dude's name. Coach from Washington State, though, took that job. Preston said, I dream of 9-1. Ain't happening year one. I don't know, Press. I don't know, man. I would say with the same roster and different coaching staff, maybe. But a lot of these are just like knuckle in the dirt wins, right? I mean, the only one we really got that's the biggest victory we've got right now is the Stanford game, 19-point W. To me, it's almost like, Jake Dicker. There you go, Hutch. I appreciate you, brother. It's almost like ChatGPT might be factoring in, the I don't know, what I would personally say Bill's attention to detail. Because you got a lot of like really kind of close margins, and Carolina's coming out on top of those games. I'm trying to. I don't see any scores here that are unreasonable, right? Thankfully, so I'm glad that there's not like 82 to, I don't know, what would be a 22 or something like that. Just ridiculous scores. I mean, these are all very reasonable, if you will. Dennis said Carolina 34, Stanford 10. After this game, Stanford moves to the MEAC. Goodness gracious. Said Carolina 38, Wake Forest 10. Goodness gracious, man. Dennis is high on this team. He's high on this team, bro, because we've held a lot of teams to like under 20 points. Under 20 points. How y'all feel, man? 9-1, 5-1. 9-1, 5-1 in the conference. You know what that means, dude? That means that we're in the hunt right now for an ACC championship game appearance. We're right there. Only team we lost to was Clemson. Chung said Carolina 34, Wake 14. I don't know, man. Let's see. Can they stink and get the double-digit wins before the last game of the season? Before possibly an ACC championship game? Before going to a bowl game? Can Carolina do that in year one? We'll see what Skynet says, man. 11th game of the season. Duke in the stinking battle for the victory bell, 28-23. After last year's heartbreaker. Oh, man. Stinking ChatGPT. I mean, it knows something. UNC sets the tone early and holds firm in a heated rivalry. Very interesting. Preston said playoffs. You talking about playoffs? I don't know. I didn't make this up. He even knows about the heartbreaker from last year. And notice how it says, after last year's heartbreaker, UNC sets the tone early, like they did last year, 20-0 at halftime. And they hold firm in a heated rivalry. Now, hopefully, this is not saying that it's going to be 21-0 at halftime, and then, Duke scores 23 unanswered, and Carolina gets 6 at the end of the game. But we need this thing to get the victory bell back in Carolina blue. Like Chung said, we got to get that bell back 100%. 28-23, North Carolina, dude. And that stinking brings their overall record here in year one at this stinking point. And it said Carolina and puke. 35-17, good guys. ChatGPT says that Carolina is now 10-1. 6-1 in the conference, bro. That's just like, bro, that's thinking crazy to even think about, man. Scott said 31-24 Carolina. So we're going into the last game of the year. If Carolina's 10-1 and 6-1 in the conference, I think that it would be fair to assume at this point with the schedule that they've played that they haven't beaten anybody that's in the top 25. Trying to think of anybody here on the schedule at this point that would possibly be ranked in the top 25, aside from maybe TCU at the beginning of the year, which would be a 3-point W according to ChatGPT. So Carolina, if TCU is ranked, would be 1-1 against top 25 teams with a close loss at Clemson. So I'm guessing that around this juncture, man, they'd have to be in some, they'd have to be at least being talked about because they're right there for ACC championship game appearance. Preston said he'd sell both kidneys for a 10-win season, both of them. No more filters, my friend. I don't know. That's not a wise. I don't think that's a very good decision, Press. I need you to stick around, brother. 10-1, 6-1, according to ChatGPT. So Carolina's obviously in the thick of this thing. They head to Raleigh to take on the NC State Wolfpack. 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row, the kids in Raleigh have, they've handled business, unfortunately. Can Carolina get back on track? Can we put the cherry on the stinking top of this thing, bro? Can we do that? Is it too much to ask? I mean, we've beaten the Miami Hurricanes 5 years in a row. I just don't even know if I can stomach Dave Doran beating Bill in the first year, especially if we're 10-1. Because look, guys, if we win in Raleigh, 11-1, 7-1, we're going more than likely to the ACC championship game. Very, very good chance, if you will. And probably a playoff team. I know that's crazy to think about, man. I know that's thinking crazy to think about. Let's see what ChatGPT says, man. I'm kind of nervous here. Not gonna lie. Kind of nervous here, man. I don't know, man. Let's stinking rip off the stinking Band-Aid. Let's rip it off, boys. It's been good to us thus far. Let's see what it says. All right, deep breath, because y'all know how much this one means to me. I'm gonna toggle down real quick on the scroll. I'm just gonna scroll down real quick. All right, we're gonna rip this thing off. Here we go. Here we go, baby. All right, 1, 2, 3, boom. Loss, bro. Goodness stinking gracious. ChatGPT says that Carolina rolls into Raleigh, dude. 10-1, 6-1 in the conference. Wolfpack edges UNC late in a classic close rivalry game. A back and forth till the end. Ooh, bro, that would be. Can you guys imagine that, man? Let's take a second real quick and just imagine how painful that would be. And I'll be honest with you, how much crap that those guys would be able to talk, dude. First year, feeling good. Feeling good. ACC championship game appearance, possible playoff team, and to lose by 1 in Raleigh? for the 5th year in a row, bro. I don't know. I don't know if I can stomach it, guys. I don't know if I can stomach it, man. Nick said it could go either way, but I think we can pull strong. Press said LOL State gets this win on a fake computer, but not in real life. Yeah, exactly. 100%, man. I mean, we can't. I can't happen. It 100% cannot happen, right? That cannot happen. Now, let me ask you this, Tar Heel Nation. If Carolina goes 10-2, 6-2 in the conference in year one, 10-win season, right? I think at that point we're probably not going to the ACC championship game, but we'll get a good bowl game. Now we know how that goes. Who in the world even stinking plays in those things anymore? How do you guys feel about that? 10-2, 6-2 in conference with wins over Duke, Wake Forest, but you lose to NC State for the 5th time in 5 years. Ooh. I don't know, man. That really is gosh, bro, that one's hard, man. That one's hard. That one's hard for me. Like if you said, "Hey Russ, you guys can go 10-2, 6-2 in the conference, but you lose to NC State for the 5th year in a row." I think I'm right there with you, Press. I think I tend to agree. It's hard to turn down a double-digit win season, especially in year one. Plus, we beat Duke. We got the bell back, 100%, bro. We're on the same page right there. Gosh, bro, that would sting, dude. Man, that would sting. And just to have to hear the yapping, you know. I don't foresee it. At least that game. I'm trying to like imagine Dave Doran being able to somehow outcoach Bill Belichick. I think his days are numbered in this rivalry, but if you ask me one or the other, I think I'd have to take it, man. Quan said, I'll take 10 wins every stinking time. Let's see what else it says right here, man. Final predicted record, 10-2 overall, 6-2 in the conference. Summary, non-conference 4-0, dominant as expected. I don't know about dominant, average margin of victory less than stinking 10. However, 4-0, we'll take it. Conference 6-2 with losses to Clemson and NC State. This matches the ELO model's prediction. I don't know what the ELO model is. Of 10-2, overall 6-2. And then we have Carolina goes 3-1. In the ACC at home with a loss to Clemson. Only Clemson lost at Keenan. And then 3-1 on the road with a loss to NC State. Let's see what it says right here, man. Why these results? Belichick's first year discipline. Okay, ChatGPT. Sharpens an already strong roster. So apparently ChatGPT thinks that whatever turnover we got going on, man, we have a strong roster. UNC handles middle tier ACC foes and wins close games. So it's taken into consideration the fact that we don't play some of the upper echelon teams aside from Clemson in the conference. I actually think that that's pretty that's kind of scary. And it kind of pulled that because that's kind of what I was thinking. Belichick's first year discipline, that's one of my stinking talking points, right? It says that we already have a strong roster. I think that we do have kind of a good roster. UNC handles middle tier ACC foes. I've been very open about not playing anybody. Though Clemson and NC State proved tough, the ELO-based scorelines reflect that tightness in key matchups. Let me know if you like breakdowns on specific matchups or insight into college football playoff bowl. So it says that Carolina's going to go 10-2, 6-2. Now let me see. Let me ask it this. Let me see if it'll pull this up. What will be What are the, and I haven't done this one yet, so we might have to redo this one real quick. I appreciate you guys hanging out, man. What are the 2025 ACE? What will the final standings in the 2025 ACC? I don't know. Maybe I worded that crazy, but let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. What will the final standings for the 2025 ACC Football Conference be? Let's check it out. See what it says. Predicted finish. ACC finish 2025 season. Clemson, FPI 9.7 projected wins. So right now ahead of us, it's got Clemson, Miami, SMU, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Louisville, and North Carolina at 7th. Now, FPI says 6.7 wins with Belichick's first year boost. So I guess it's given us 7. So, I mean, I tell you what, if Carolina goes 10-2, 6-2 in the conference, and they finish 7th, man, we talked about this is a strong daggum conference this year. Because that means that 6 other teams in the conference had to also go 6-2 or better. I don't even know if that's mathematically possible, but that's what it's saying. So predicted finish 7th according to ChatGPT, and it's because of Belichick's first year boost. I just want to point out right here, Duke 10th, NC State 11th. Just wanted to point that out real quick. So this would basically mean that Carolina is back on top in the state of North Carolina, if you will. And that's year 1. That's stinking year 1 right there, man. Very interesting stuff, dude. Very interesting stuff. And like I said, I feel like what we got right here is, I want to say that Tar Heel Nation, at least all of you, have almost said that Carolina, y'all are expecting Carolina right now with what we got here, 11-1, 7-1 in the conference. Now, once again, Bill Belichick, weak schedule. Very interesting. Hutch said Virginia and Cal and Florida State ahead of Pitt with the laughing emojis. Yeah. Because Holstein's back, right? I think that's the key right there, dude. I think that's the key right there. Carson says Syracuse is going to be a tough game. The Dome is already a tough place to play. And it's on Halloween night, Syracuse, Buffalo Bills territory, and they hate BB. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, Carson. Really good point. I don't know if you were here, bro, but in case you weren't, I just got to read this again. ChatGPT said Carolina wins 28-27, a nail biter under the dome sack. I don't know why. Look, I'll be 39 in November. I know I'm being stinking a little, childish here, but that's funny to me. That's stinking funny. 10-2, 6-2 in the conference, and I don't think there's a Tar Heel in the entire country that would not stink and take that. Would not stink and take that, and that's including Carolina losing to the I can't say it. Sorry, can't say it. It's leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Nick said, teams that don't like you the most are going to give 150% on the football field. 100%, man. 100%. So, like I said, boys, what we're going to do, man, is we'll keep track of this. Okay? Got my way too early. 9-3. ChatGPT says 10-2. I love it. I really hope that ChatGPT, if I could have it this way, or we're gonna have one hell of a season, boys. We're gonna have one hell of a season. We're gonna have a ton of fun, winning a ton of football games in year 1. So I would love for this to come to fruition. And you know what? Maybe I could be persuaded. As the season draws near, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I still got 30 days to kind of mold this stuff over, man, and come out with my final preseason prediction, if you will, for North Carolina, man. But it almost sounds kind of like me and ChatGPT are on the same page. and I'm guessing that it's kind of the same for a lot of you as well. Now, obviously, these are some close games. Carolina's got some nail biters in here that they're giving us the W over, including the first game. The game down in Orlando is a 3-point W. The Syracuse game was a 1-point win. 5-point game out west in California. Um, what else do we have, man? 5-point win against Duke at home, and then a 1-point loss against State. So, I mean, very interesting stuff here, man. Very interesting stuff. And I like it. I like it, Carson. I think we should come up with a name for the rivalry too, man. 100%. Like I said, Pitt has a top 25 defense and two of the best linebackers in the nation. Ricky Holstein and Des Reed return with a healthy O-line. Hate to sound like a homer, but the Panthers are the dark horse. I like it, bro. I like it. We don't play Pitt this year, so because of Hutch, I think the Panthers are going to be my second team. But yeah, man. I thought that this would be really interesting, man, and I'm looking forward to doing this, for the remainder of the years. We'll do one for basketball too for all my basketball heads, man. But you guys, let me know what you think about it down in the comment section, man. 10-2, 6-2 with losses to Clemson and NC State. That means we're unblemished in the non-con, and I think if we go 10-2, that gives us a ton of momentum going into year two. Under head coach Bill Belichick. I think we can all attest to that, man. So, this is pretty cool, man. Shout out to Coach Coop, dude, for coming up with this. I'm sure he's not the only one, but he's the one that I saw and followed. And I just think this is a terrific idea. It's fun. It's always fun to try to predict these things, man. And, I can predict them. You can predict them. But then we go to ChatGPT and it takes every bit of nonsense that it finds on the stinking internet. And then it tries to break down this stuff for you. And I thought that it, for the most part, had some pretty good little breakdowns, man. Pretty good little breakdowns, man. So I thought this was pretty stinking fun. 10-2, 6-2, predicting the Heels to finish 7th in the conference, which would mean the ACC was stacked this year. And I think that I'll take that every single day and twice on Sunday, man. So I'm really excited about this one. Like I said, man, really excited about the season. This kind of gives me even more juice because I don't feel like an absolute dingbat, for thinking that Carolina can do some damage against this roster with especially our head coach. So, like I said, man, you guys let me know what you think about it down in the comment section, man. And do me a favor too, man. Please share this with all your Tar Heel friends, man. Let them know the Tar Heel Huddle is here because I'm really excited about this upcoming season. And, just watching a new era of Carolina football, and then we're also talking about, the season that we're thinking we're going to have in basketball as well, man. So it's going to be a great 2025, 2026 season. Let everybody know so they can stick and jump on board, man. And, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. Consider becoming a Huddle Hooligan. You can find that down there in the join. Should be a join under the video. And you just got to stink and DM me, man, after you join. I'll send you the link to the Discord. We always have a good time in there. Been a little bit slow lately, man, but we'll pick it back up, especially as the season starts to churn and we're getting close to everything. But I really appreciate you guys, man, and everything that y'all do, man. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you guys don't have to work on Monday, which it's probably a good thing if you are working on Monday. But hope you guys have a great week, man. Once again, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I love you, Tar Heel Nation. 10-2, baby. I'll take it all day. It's a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll catch y'all boys on the next one, man. Go Heels.